Hello and welcome back to the Weekly Register. I'm Ryan McCready. This is Jay Rowley. And we've took a couple of weeks off.
Aye.
With some stuff going on, but we're back. We're ready. Got a wee disclaimer.
Nearly made a very violent joke there, man. Jesus. Anyway, so today, as always, any jokes that we make, you know, we'll know what to harm anybody. If you're easily offended, I don't know what camera I'm looking at, please just turn off the new anything that comes out my mouth. But technically I'm your co-host. The new co-host mouth, or even our guest on the day. Please don't take it to heart. Please don't cry in the shower about it. And please don't make TikToks about it either, because like I've stated, we do not need to share our monetization legally, and you're just advertising our podcast, which I do appreciate, but still, don't do yourself out of money, troops.
But this week, we've got a very fantastic friend of mine, a great comedian, who's just back from the States with Robin Zetina.
Thanks,
How
guys.
you doing?
Yeah, not bad, man. How you guys doing?
Good.
I'm doing good, it's good to be back.
Aye.
Good to be back.
So, Robin, obviously you're back for Austin. Tell us about it. But, so, how long were you there for?
21 days.
21 days.
3 weeks.
Aye. Oh, was it that long, aye?
Oh, yeah, it was a while.
Mm.
It was a minute.
So, was it good?
It was an interesting experience. Austin, I don't know what I expected, but it was not that.
You get any bullet wounds?
No, I shot some guns.
Nice.
That was an experience.
And a shooting range, or?
A skill?
30 seconds in. Although, yeah, after the first couple of shots with the AR-15, I was like, I get it. I get it.
Oh, by the way, we are not laughing at the death of any small children. We are laughing at the fact that he's just said it. Okay? So try and clip this if you want. It's not going to work because I've said that.
At the end of the day, it's like a milk run in America, innit?
Aye. Good job that I didn't grow up in America and my dad didn't leave over there. You know what I mean? Aye.
Aye. So what was interesting about it? Tell us about it.
Fucking pick a thing, man. Do you know what 6th Street is? 6th Street's like the main strip in Austin, Texas. It's where all the clubs and comedy clubs. It's where the comedy mothership is.
Aye.
All right, okay.
So like every weekend they lock it down. Like there's police horses patrol up and down the street. All the entrances to the street are blocked off, and there's armed police everywhere. The place is a fucking. I don't know how to describe it. Like, but I'll wrap it up in this one incident that I had with a homeless guy that I didn't know was homeless. So I was standing outside like the hostel that I was staying at. I was smoking or something like that. I was just hanging out, and then this guy walked up to me, and he just kind of looked like just a guy, and he was just like, "How you doing, mate?" And I was like, "Not bad, man. How you doing?" And he was, "Not bad, man. I was just cutting about the forest and that." And I was like, "Okay." He didn't use those words, but yeah, he'd been hanging around near Barton Springs, which is like a natural spring down a forest area. And we were just kind of chatting away back and forth. He's like, "I'm Scottish," and like midway through the conversation, he's like, "Do you want to see my knife?" I was like, "What?" So I'm sitting on this kind of wall outside the hostel, and he's standing to my right, and he's like, "Do you want to see my knife?" And I'm like, "I don't know how to answer this question, mate." And he's like, "Check this out." So he lifts up his t-shirt, and there's like a sheath, whatever it's called, and he pulls out this fucking big knife. And he's like, "Look at that," and I'm like, "That is in fact a knife, mate." And then he's like, "Do you want to hold it?" And I was like, "No." So
Could be a murder, mate.
he put it down between him and I, and then stepped back like a dog that just like dropped a ball in front of you. And he was like, "There you go, mate." And I was like, "I don't want to put my fingerprints on your knife."
That's wild.
And then picked it up and then like put it away, and he's like, fucking a guy gave me that. And then I'm like, "Cool."
As if it's the most normal thing.
Yeah.
It probably is over there.
And he was like, "I used it to make this," and he took his rucksack off and pulled out like a metal bat thing. He's like, "I made this with it," and like I put a handle on it, and I was like, that you have? You in fact, you're not wrong. And he's like, "Do you want to buy a pair of boots?" And I was like, "What?" And then he pulled out these old crocodile skin boots and was like, "Do you want to buy a pair of boots?" And I was like, "Not really, man."
So it's like walking down Stocky Hall Street then?
It's the American Sucky Hall Street.
Yes.
And then he was like, "Yeah, I'm a paranoid schizophrenic. I just got out 2 days ago." Like this is verbatim. Like this isn't an exaggeration of a conversation I had. This is exactly what he said. And he's like, "I don't need any of that medicine, man. I've just smoked weed. That's God's medicine." I was like, "I think I might be done with this conversation." That's the most terrifying interaction I've ever had.
Well, so is like the stereotypes too then? They're all just, there's a lot of hillbillies.
Not really.
No,
To be, Austin's very metropolitan.
I suppose I don't know if the term gentrified works over there, but it is
I think
kind
they fucking
of
originated
civilized.
it. Yeah.
But because when I think of Texas, I think Stone Cold Steve Austin. Do you know what I mean? Just absolute redneck.
Yeah, well, I mean, so Austin's very, I don't know, Austin's kind of like a pseudo LA at this point because so many people have moved from
I suppose
that part
they
of
all
the country
done
to Austin.
Because of the taxis and all that, innit?
Yeah, I think there was a multitude of reasons. But yeah, Austin's very, I don't think it's, from what I've been told when I was over there, it's not a good representation of the rest of Texas.
Right.
And I couldn't make any assumptions because I only seen Austin. And even at that, I only seen some of Austin.
Did you
when I was
venture
there.
out to Austin anytime? No.
No, not really.
No. I suppose Texas is that big, innit?
Texas is fucking huge.
Yeah.
That didn't leave Austin much, but yeah, it's like even outside of that guy, the homeless people over there are just, they're like street performers. Like our homeless people are just cold. They just sit there and are cold. It's a shame, but they are. But like in Austin, they're like roaming the streets and fucking talking to themselves. It's like you know, the type of stuff
They're
that you see on.
entertainment.
Yeah, like there's a guy with a snake. There's a homeless guy that just has a snake, and you can go up and like give him money and take a picture with the snake. It's like a big fucking yellow python.
Yeah, but bet he makes money for that. That's why he's still
Probably.
doing it.
Yeah, he's just a homeless guy with a snake.
See, when I got off the train to come in here, just while we're talking about homeless, this is going to sound so bad. I just walked out McDonald's and I've got 3 vapes on me. I knew one of them was nearly dead. One of them was dead and the one I was smoking. So the wee woman's outside McDonald's. No money, and I'm going to eat my cheeseburgers. I'm like, I just smoke. She's like, yeah, there's a vape, right? I've not got anything else on me, there's a vape. And as I've get probably about 5 yards down, I could hear her screaming and fucking shouting. I've looked down and the wee fucking flashing light's just gone. That's going to be my new favourite thing. I'm just going to start getting homeless people empty vapes and see how they react. Honestly, it was.
That's giving them false hope, but
Everybody was turning around and looking at me, and I was like, shit, I'm going to get done in here. And that was alright. So it was. That's mad though. One of the places I've not been is America. That's what, isn't it? Like, I'm pure like the stereotypical no scheme wee guy because I'm not anywhere. It's like just Spain. I've been to multiple different places.
Tenerife for Craig Tara was your holidays.
I'd love to go out and do more travelling.
It's good, man.
It seems, just like even just for that one wee snippet there, it seems like I'd have a barrel of laughs.
Oh yeah, for
so
sure.
would.
The full place is.
Did you do any like? Obviously, you were over there. Were you there over there doing gigs and stuff like that?
Yeah, I was doing
'Cause,
shows.
I'm no, like we're on two opposite sides of entertainment. I know nothing about comedy, so I'll always ask questions. But I'm more on the social media side, where obviously Ryan's in the comedy game, but no, in the social media side. But
I just seem to annoy every day on social media.
And
So-
outside of social media.
What are the gigs like compared to being like over here?
Good question. There's a difference in format in that most of the shows over there are done shotgun style.
Mm-hmm.
Like they don't have a host
No.
for the most part.
No.
So it's just the comedian on brings up the next comedian, brings up the next comedian, brings up the next comedian. So it's kind of a minor difference just in the way they run shows over there. There's also so many. Like 6th Street has something like 11 comedy clubs alone.
Aye.
Yeah, like it's almost like the Fringe with the level of with the concentration of gigs in a small area. So like you could go and sign up, but specific to open spots, or like you can go and sign up for like 6 of them, and be like, I'll do this one, then that one, then that one, then that one, then that
Aye,
one.
on the
There's
one
just-
night.
Yeah, there's loads.
Aye,
So
because you
many
get
gigs.
some people that double up here, and doubling up, it needs to be done like you're opening one headline now. See if you could just day 10, go to the next one, day 10, go to the next one. You could get so much material out of that.
Yeah, you could just general practice.
So what was your best gig over there? What was your favourite?
I really like Creek in the Cave as a club out there. I did their Filthy show a couple of times. It's like their Saturday night show. That was really good. The guy that runs it, a guy called Adam Lucky, is a sweetheart of a guy and fucking hilarious. Yeah, like of all the comedians I've seen, he's probably one of the funniest. He's just so ruthlessly funny. Such a good performer. Sunset Strip was good. I really enjoyed Sunset Strip. That was so the first show I did when I got there was Sunset Strip, and it was an experience. So I showed up, kilt, black vest, and I'm like, let's go.
Did you wear a kilt?
Yeah.
Did you go full blown
I had a
stereotype?
kilt on stage. So I get to Sunset Strip and I'm doing their late night show. It was like I think it was an 11 p.m. start. And I was just doing a guest spot. So it was like 7 to 10, I think was the time. And I'll go up and I'm like, I'm kind of just acclimating to an American audience. It's my first spot, or first show rather. And I'm like going through my material and I've like changed some things and I'm trying to see how it works. And then I made the mistake of calling someone a cunt.
That's a big no-no over there.
Aye.
The Americans do not like the word cunt, as it turns out. So I made it my mission to get the word cunt into every set that I did. But yeah, I think I'd done that drag queen joke.
Aye.
You need to fill me in.
It's a joke about drag shows. I know about to ruin his material. We'll fill you in.
Oh, right.
Yeah,
right.
there's an element of cocaine use in it.
Yes, I love that.
So yeah. So and I speak about straws or whatever, and then some guy from the audience started shouting about straws. You'll need a long straw, and I was like, "What the fuck did you do?" And then it kind of became like it was funny, and everyone was getting into it. And then I called him a cunt, or I said, I can't remember what it was I said exactly, but I used the word cunt, and the entire audience just went, and I was like, "Oh." I may have made a mistake.
I know, because out here we use it so frequently, like it's just like a normal word.
Just like it's
But
like a
over
full
there,
stop.
I hate it.
Obviously, talking about that. So, what is the contrast in audience? Because for what I've gathered, over here, I don't know if it is just for doing this. Maybe I was just numb to it for fucking ages. A lot of people in, say, Scotland, even Britain, seem to be getting offended at absolutely everything you say, don't they?
No.
But like, even when like, and I'm talking off the experience, I see just watching like sort of clips and stuff on Facebook or YouTube of comedy clubs over here. You see at the time, audience members frequently getting offended by and openly just shouting out. Do you know what I mean?
I mean, it's no frequent. Like, I've never really dealt with. I mean, you've shot a comedy club down, but I've never really offended them.
It's because they couldn't understand you.
Aye, that's fair. I just don't get understood outside of Glasgow. It's wild. But I don't think people openly get offended at comedy shows unless it's like really bad.
No,
Again, I might just sound like a fucking idiot, but see if I'm no part of the.
Aye.
I've seen people get offended.
Aye. But I don't think it's frequent as much as online. Because online...
Not really. I think it's a very vocal minority of people that take offence, probably with anything that, as I said, they're vocal. They tend to interact in a negative way with comedians online. But I mean, there's also an element of, and people tend to want to avoid conflict in person. So if they do get offended at a comedy club, they're much more likely not to say anything, I would say. I mean, there's also, if someone goes to a comedy show, for the most part, they know what to expect.
No.
We're here for comedy.
I think it was Richard Osman that said, like, the likes of TV, people get offended and write into Ofcom and stuff like that because they're just flicking through the channels and they see it. But if you buy a ticket to a comedy show, or if you click on a podcast or download it or whatever, you know what you're in for. You know...
That's your style.
Aye. You know the type of humour that's involved in it. So if you're buying a ticket to a comedy show or you're clicking onto like a YouTube video or whatever, you need to kind of take it with a pinch of salt because you clicked on it. You didn't just get hot with it. It's no shoved in your face.
Right.
I've not come through your living room and made certain jokes.
Not
but
anymore. We don't do that anymore.
shout through the letterbox and all that. But no, there needs to be a certain level of, right, that wasn't for me. Do you know what I mean?
I've had the opposite problem. I don't know. So when I did my headline show at the Glasgow Comedy Festival, it was my headline show, so it was like my audience that was there.
Aye.
So they
Knew
more,
what to
more, more than
expect.
aware what they were going to get. And then when I would do lighter jokes, they would be like, oh. like the gentle stuff that I would usually use to like placate like a standard audience.
Yeah.
Like if they won't laugh at this, they'll probably laugh at this more gentle stuff. Like when it was my audience, they were like, okay. Next one, please, dickheads. Why are you wasting our time with this fucking piddly pish? Like, make a real joke. So like there's like two different. I guess there's two different sides. I
Aye.
suppose. That's probably not the right.
But that's again, they're buying a ticket for your show and they know what to expect. Whereas if they were maybe coming to that charity gig, get shot down and no knowing what to expect.
Fair enough.
How did you shut down a gig? I need to know.
Oh, I made a joke that offended a member of staff there.
Are we able to say it on camera?
The joke, well, it's on my 10-minute YouTube special.
Even better. Look for it, because I'll be looking for it. So
yeah, I think it might be on my Instagram as well. Maybe one of the ones that I posted there.
excellent. Even better.
I wouldn't even say it's one of your worst jokes, Dave.
It's not. It's not at all. Pretty tame.
How did obviously, like, what is sort of like your background? How did you get into comedy and stuff like that?
I wanted to be a comedian since I was like 5 years old. Yeah, since I remember being 5 and picking up. I think I went in the story last time, but I'll give you the abridged version. Like picking up a copy of Billy Connolly live in New York, like with fucking money, like the £3 pocket money I had. I got it like a boot sale.
Yeah.
Second hand at a boot sale, and I watched the fuck out of that DVD. And then I was introduced to Richard Pryor was the next one. Eddie Murphy. Who were like my big early influences. I think those were the main ones. So yeah, I fall asleep listening to comedy, and I have done since I was since I used to have there used to be a CD. I think I say used to. It's Billy Connolly, Classic Connolly. I don't know if you've listened to it.
Yeah, I've listened to it.
Yeah, I had a fucking bootleg copy from the Barras. And I had like one of those like cheap hi-fi things and like a cheap set of headphones. And like even when I was a little guy, like now I'd listen to Spotify when I fall asleep, but like I would just put on the headphones and put on like Classic Connolly and listen to that as I fell asleep. That was like standard practice when I was really young. So like the first time I ever attempted comedy was when I was 18. I was old enough to perform at the Stand, and I applied for the Stand, and they knocked me back, and I was like, oh well, tried. And then I was like, I should go back and do it. I didn't have any material when I was applying. I was just pissing at the wind. And then I was like, I was at uni and I had a job and I had like a child, and I'm like, there's always something. I'm like, there was always a reason to put it off. I'm like, I'll do that at some point. I'll do that at some point. I'll do that at some point. And then I had a few things in my life that I was eventually like, I was approaching 30, and I was like, I need to get on a stage before I turn 30. Even if I do it once and I suck, then I can continue the rest of my life having known that I made an attempt.
Yeah.
And then I made an attempt, and I was like, oh, that was quite nice.
You catch that bug?
Let's try it again. And then I done it a second time, and I was like, okay, let's try it again.
Because this is a conversation I've had with Jay, is that you catch that bug.
Yeah.
It's that first time on stage, and that's how I've always said to you, like, it's the endorphins and the adrenaline rush you get to being on stage. I think you'd love it.
I see. We spoke about it many times. I'm on the different side. Like, see, I used to be a social expert. I'm not really like, I can stand up and do talks and stuff like that. But see, being in front of a camera, this is my shit, man. I'm so comfortable being in front of a camera, just talking shit. I'm completely fine with it. But see, the thought of being like, I envy you guys like 100%. See, being able to go up on stage and sit and rattle out jokes like that, there's nothing that makes me shit myself even more than even the thought of me going up doing it.
That's horrifying.
You know what I mean? It's
when I first started. My second gig was at the Panopticon in Glasgow, and I remember the first one, it was in the back of a bar. There was like fucking no audience, and I'd like the audience that was there was like my pals. They came with me for like my first show, and they were fine. I did terrible, but I had like one or two little, and then I'd booked the Panopticon. It's like I think it was like a week later, so all of a sudden I'm in a music hall with 50 people. And there's a big stage and lights and microphone. And I remember like on the morning thinking, just tell them you're sick. I just messaged them and be like, I'm no well, I can't come, I can't do the gig. It's a shame. And it took like I was like, no, I'm going to do it. I've committed to it. I've told them I'm going to do it. And then I got to it, and I got to the venue, and I was looking at the stage and then looking at the audience, and I was like, it's not too late. I can tell them I'm sick. I would love to do it, but I'm afraid I've got the shits. I need to leave.
My fingers have accidentally slipped in my throat.
Yeah, I've got the diarrhea high hay. I need to leave. And I was like, no, I'm going to do it. And then I was sitting in the wings, like, as they're about to introduce me, and I'm still like, I could still be sick. I could still leave. That was probably the most terrifying gig I did. Was the second one ever, the Panopticon. And then I got on stage, and then like you make the first joke, and then you get the first laugh, and it's like
you can relax.
And no, I don't get that anxiety anymore. It's just
see, you get used to it after a while.
Yeah.
Don't get me wrong, there's some gigs like when there's massive audiences or whatever, and you get a wee nervous, but see, you've got the likes of a small 15 to 20 person gig, you're like, I'll just go up and do what I'll do. If I die, I die. Do you know what I mean? But it's funny you say that, because my second ever gig was my like scariest.
Yeah.
So I'd done the Junkyard, and then I'd done it in front of a couple of pals, and then the next week I done a pub in my hometown with my dad and my nana and my cousin and my auntie Jane, and I knew I drank in the pub 3 times a week, so I knew every day in the pub. And I went up and I'm like, oh no. Even on stage after that, I was shaking, rattling, because it was like people I knew. It was like doing a gig at Christmas dinner. Do you know what I mean? But
it's a very unnatural thing to do.
yeah,
I think that public speaking ranks above death and like the thing that the public tend to be scared of. That people are more terrified of public speaking than they are of dying.
What my document by us for me, you know what I mean?
you go. I was just.
It's just something you said earlier. You said you were reaching 30. How old are you?
30.
Are you? You fucking do not look 30 whatsoever.
I just shaved.
No, you do. You look. No, I'm not trying to offend you or any means, but you do. You look great for 30.
Thanks.
Again, I'm not trying to fuck you on camera.
That's a Patreon exclusive.
No even name would let me on off. He's got
Aye.
Yeah,
I should have worn mine.
Turn the cameras off. Fuck's sake.
We're gonna kiss.
Violently.
Yeah, no, I'm 30. I'll be 31 next year.
Mad. That's nuts.
But also we done the Fringe again.
We did do the French together.
It was a wild experience.
It was an interesting experience.
That was interesting. Because the Fringe is such... Like, I've got a problem with the Fringe. I don't know if I'm going to do it this year.
I have several problems with
Aye,
the Fringe.
But it's just...
I've never been.
It's just... it's no for smaller comedians anymore. It's just no. We're all getting priced out of it.
I think it depends what you want. So, like, I think the Fringe this year, it was difficult, but it was worth it, because I must have done in excess of 100 shows in total over the month. And I left the other side a much stronger comedian, a much stronger comic. Lost a lot of money, but left. So even in saying that, I wouldn't consider the money lost. I think it's in the same way that you would pay for an education. You pay for a year of college. You pay for it sucks the way that they kind of exploit our acts.
Aye.
But you're paying for a month-long course on performance. You're paying for, and you're never going to get that anywhere else. And no other place maybe some other places in the world, but no other place in Scotland or the UK are you going to get a month-long opportunity to perform multiple times per day in different venues with different audiences. And at the same time, you're also meeting comedians that have performed across the world. So both your skill set grows and you meet people that you would never have another chance of meeting. And again, you can learn things from them as well, from their experiences. So there's immense value in it. Producing your own show, I don't know. If that being my first Fringe that I ever performed at and having produced 2 shows at it, I don't know if I would recommend that to another person.
No. Like the likes of the year before, I'd done 3 shows across 2 days. And then this year, I'd done 60 or 70 shows. Like between doing 2 a day with you, and then I'd done a few other guest spots and stuff like that. But for me, it's like the experience was invaluable. See, working under like you and Kyle and Craig, and even just listening to Craig Campbell, who's a fantastic comedian and such a great, lovely guy.
Oh, he's a sweetheart.
To be where he is and spending time with like me, we sat and spoke for hours, and like this guy's been doing it for 35 years, been on the telly. He's such a brilliant comedian, been all over the world, and he's like giving me advice and sitting talking to me and doing shows with us. That it was unbelievable just to be able to learn from him. And Kyle Lucy, who's another one who I'd never really heard of Kyle until I came over here, but I'm so glad that I met him, because he gave me a different view on comedy. Like some of the stuff he would say about my material and stuff like that. Such a brilliant guy. And even Jordan, who came in, like, it was such a brilliant experience. But for the Fringe, what the Fringe used to be, you either get noticed or you made money, and you don't get that anymore. So it feels like smaller acts are getting exploited to spend all this money. And what you said is right about getting an education, but it's still it should be more viable for more comedians.
So I'm going to put my 2 pence on, mainly because I was at your side the full time you were doing that, because I was still trying to keep this running. I thought it was quite pish. Imagine I just stopped that there, never said anything else. But,
full stop.
So obviously I know you personally, and obviously I'm not wanting to get into your life or whatever like that, but see for comedians coming for the background where maybe they've not got the money to be able to push into as much as, because I'm fucking so buzzing you went as far as you did.
Aye.
But I feel like at some points I was like, I don't think he's going to continue to be able to fund this after his
No, I had to stop a week early, mate. I ran out of money.
Dude, I ran out of money as well.
even for yourself, you know, I think that's...
It was a struggle, man. Like me,
Aye.
Kyle and I. Oh man, there was a moment during the Fringe, and it's probably one of my favourite moments in comedy. So I don't know if how much you know about the show that I produced. It was comedians and strippers. It was burlesque performance and strippers. So, and Kyle and I were skint, like next level skint. So like we would like boil hard. We would like boil eggs and like get like tinned fish and stuff like that, like sardines.
Usual sardines, mental.
Sardines, so that we could get like our macronutrients in, and so that we didn't burn out completely. Eating just dog shit food.
I've just got a hard on there as you said macros. So I did, man. My penis just grew out immensely. Continue.
We can talk about it. So yeah, we were taking greens and stuff for our micronutrients. So like it was like before one of the shows, we drove in, parked near Freddy's, the venue, and there was like a couple of girls were like helping us flower, like really beautiful women, just lovely, just in general lovely. So Kyle and I were like standing talking to them, and like, we need to go and like have like sort something out real quick. We'll be back in like 10 minutes. We need to go deal with this. Cut to Kyle and I like crouched in my car like fucking goblins peeling eggs, and like we didn't even have cutlery. We didn't take cutlery with us, so we're like fingering. We're opening tins of sardines and like finger it, like we look like fucking Smeagol from Lord of the Rings, like firing these fish in and like chasing it with hard boiled eggs and drinking water to try and just like get our macros. And we were just dying laughing that we were just like, we just left all these beautiful women and we're like, sorry ladies, we need to go and deal with a thing, and then we're just fucking
in my head they're definitely standing there going, yeah, wait to take gear.
100%.
Get a joint or something. What the fuck's
Do you know how I survived it? I'd shoplift a Ginster's sausage roll.
I know, because you phoned me after it.
That's how I survived. I'm mad, just because that processed shit.
Sausage roll a day.
So I take it you're quite into your fitness game, man.
Yeah,
I love that shit. Love it. With
sorry,
my mind just went blank. Yeah, so it's the first time I've been back in a while. So how do you balance obviously comedy and training?
During the Fringe, we did a lot of 20-minute workouts, lots of kettlebell stuff.
Oh right, okay.
There was a lot of just going in, throwing a kettlebell about for 20-25 minutes, hitting abs, and then just boosted.
Yeah. So what is your kind of style? Sorry, I was heavy too.
No, batter in.
So what is your sort of style of training like?
It's changed a lot. I was really into calisthenics for a while there. I was doing a lot of bouldering, like rock climbing and stuff like that. So my training pushed towards calisthenics, lots of pull-ups. When Kyle was over, I was doing a lot of fighting, lots of kickboxing. I used to box when I was younger. I was doing kickboxing for a minute.
He used to just hit people with half bricks.
Something to do, innit?
Just the hair back, you're just bleeding down the side of the face.
Just now I'm moving into more strength-based stuff.
Nice.
I just started like a new strength program fucking last week.
Nice. See, I mean, the past year I've been doing PPL. So one thing I've found that's been able to help me sort of gain weight, maintain my muscle mass while doing other things. Like I've started doing a tiny bit of MMA. It's one of the boys in the gym. He trains a bit, so I got gloves and stuff just to kind of, because I'm off cycle summer, so my test is fucking plummeted. My penis doesn't work, so I was like, I need to get some sort of frustration out.
You want to take an estrogen blocker?
I was gonna, but I can't really fund. You know what I mean?
It's expensive. Yeah.
Everything is. So I started doing a lot just on the bag, and he was like, "Oh, I can show you a few things if you want." So that's what I'm now doing on top of PPL, and I love it. So I was like, I've done stuff like cross country. Like I trained for Tough, I've done stuff like that, and had my head, I'm going to run a marathon.
Oh, nice.
Started doing track, and I was like, I fucking hate running.
Oh, running fucking sucks, man.
I hate, like, I can run. Like I got to the point where I was going past my 5k because I was doing like a 5k a day, and I got to the point I was doing just under 15k every third day of the week.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, right, not want to use the headphones anymore. Just out, and I'm like, I don't know how people do this. This is fucking shite. Fucked the marathon at the window and just went back to solely weight training. But because of that, I don't know. You might be the same. I'll go through phases of absolutely hating fitness.
Yeah, no, it's for the most times I don't want to train.
Mm-hmm.
I find training really boring.
Yeah.
Like one of the things I liked about fighting is I say I didn't fight. Fight training is that you're hitting stuff and you're doing things.
Yeah.
But like just general fitness, I find it boring as fuck. So running, I find running boring as fuck.
I recently I've gone to the. I actually put a video up the other week there, and I was like, I don't know why people come to the gym. Like you say you enjoy fitness, you don't. You enjoy self harm. That is what you're here for. The thing with like
I enjoy 1 out of 10 workouts normally. Sometimes you'll have like that one really like you're feeling good, your energy's high. Maybe you were super high carb the day before or something like that, and like everything's working. There's no pain in your shoulder.
Yeah. And
you get like a really good workout. All the machines that you want are free. There's no wee fucking cunts hogging the flatbed. You know what I mean?
Definitely. It's the fight night feels there's almost there's something primal with it as well, which I definitely feel. But you're right. It's when the fucking 16-year-olds come in, there's 8 of them on a bench, and I'm thinking I could snap. I'm trying to be positive, but I could snap every single one of you in 2. That's 9 times out of 10. That's the roids kicking in. Right, I'm not gonna lie, but
I see my journey with fitness is very minimal.
You broke your elbow.
I know, but it was like
you have a journey with fitness.
I was. What?
Well, you have a journey with fitness.
I do. I
fucking fitting pastries in your nose.
Fitting this note up your nose.
No, because obviously I was doing 4 or 5 weeks. I was going to the gym and then I cracked 2 of my ribs and done my elbow in, and then I was at the fringe, and then I was
But you never go.
I'd done my selling right, but then I just never signed back up for the gym, and then the other day I had to run for the train after a gig. I was gigging in Denniston, and I get dropped off at Central, and I had to run up one of the streets. I had to run up one of the streets, and by the time I go on the train, I'm like dying off, and I'm like, this is no good.
They all keep asking for you in Gym 24.
Did you?
When's Ryan coming back? I do not know.
Aye, once I sort my life out.
When he starts seeing his kids again.
That'll be a long time.
But aye, so you're off cycle just now?
Yeah, been off for
what's your usual stack?
weeks. So I started off for a while. Like I've been on since I first turned 20, but it was all orals to start with.
Jesus Christ.
I know. D-ball, Anavar, all that shit. Then last year I went to Ibiza.
Well, you started with D-ball and Anavar?
I started with just D-ball on its own. Like I got it off a guy who worked in the same warehouse I
Jesus
worked
Christ. Skipped all the normal steps.
in. Yeah,
but fuck that, let's go straight.
So I'd been training for 7 years before I put it in my body. Like I've been training since I was 14. But I went to Ibiza. I get that tattoo. I'm scared of needles, by the way. I get that tattoo there. The second I got off the plane, I phoned my mate Callum and I was like, bro, I'm getting tested. He's like, what's changed? I was like, I just got a tattoo that was really sore. So
wait, what?
Aye. I get a tattoo.
No, it's fine. I can do droids. Droids? Shit,
literally.
Droids, yeah. It's
droid attack on the wikis.
But I started on test. Jogging twice a week, a mil. Then I was like, yeah, this is all right. Then I was cycling off and on that, and I was like, nah, what's trend like? No, honestly, right. So my big cousin, he was taking trend test in D-ball. He's like, you should try it, mate. And I was like,
were you training for a competition?
No.
Training for the weekend?
Training for myself. See, I don't drink, I don't take it. I've not in nearly 2 years, so.
I'm taking this off because I'm warm. Okay?
Aye, that's fine. Oh yeah, very doubts.
Yeah, let's kiss.
I'm going to pass out if I keep doing that.
I'm going to pass out if I kept that fucking.
So
I wish I'd known. I would have pumped up before I came in. The cameras off for half an hour.
No, keep them on. We'll give Crookie a fucking surprise when he comes in to check the footage in the studio. It's just me getting arse raped. Again. But so I've been off for about 3 weeks now. Off the train for 5 weeks, after the test for 3 weeks, and I'm on I'm PCTing lightly because I don't want to heavy fuck my hormones anymore, because PCT can still fuck your hormones.
So, are you still getting emotional or not? No.
I've got no emotion whatsoever.
Alright.
I've got like completely none. I'm on the other side now.
Oh,
Some
right.
others nothing.
Because he starts greeting on podcasts. And all that.
What it was, right, so I've never been an emotional person. We had a boy on here, and he was talking about something quite serious. I literally sat there, and the camera couldn't see my face, and the full thing's silent. I've turned around to him, and there's tears
Oh, just tears
running
rolling.
down my face. Aye, but I'm back on the 14th of December. So
Nice.
It's nice to have a schedule.
That's heavy good for the mental health. I don't know if anyone's seen Joe Rogan talking about it. That's not the that's not the reason why.
TRT's different.
I'm still trying to convince my dad to do TRT. Bear in mind, I don't speak to him anymore. So.
I was going to say, you need to convince him to come back first.
Aye, man. There's a lot of negativity around it.
Yeah, people don't understand though.
I can understand. See, when you're like 17 and you're jagging up the toilet, that's no.
See, for me, it was when you were talking to me about it, and I didn't quite understand it until you said, it's just for me. Like, you feel better when you're like putting on weight and you're like seeing changes, and I can understand that. Like,
I don't date for my missus. I don't date for them.
Aye, that's what I mean. Because, like, obviously,
I get permanent fucking scar. See if you see me moving about, I've got really bad scar tissue on my fucking arse.
How are you? So I did a cycle I done a couple of cycles when I was in my early 20s.
Yes.
I was really into bodybuilding.
That's me. I'm 22 now.
So are you only 22?
No, I know. Rough paper run. I know.
Yeah, no, I never had any. I just did test and Deca. I didn't do anything fucking crazy.
I've never done Deca. I hear people keep talking about it, but I've never done it. I've always stuck with like the stuff that I know my body likes. You'll know yourself actually, because try to explain this to people who don't get it. Like certain types. So there's obviously crowns and crowns. Is it crowns? Crowns is the one I use, but there's another one. I can't remember the name of the brand that does it. My body doesn't like it whatsoever, and I can feel like, especially with Anythate 300, my body hates it, and I can feel it. So I always do the Test 400 with the trend instead. And I try and explain to people like your body will be able to tell you. They're like, how do you know about it? And it's so hard to explain. Like you can just feel it in your body that you just don't like it. But so I've always just stuck with the stuff like I know my body likes. But going with the trend, that was kind of like a spur of the moment. Fuck it, but my body really, really enjoyed trend.
I had a mate that done it and got gyno.
See,
so I done 2 cycles and I was like, it was fine. I got massive. My strength gains went through the roof, but I was like, first of all, it's expensive.
Yeah, it's very expensive.
And I really only fucking pinning myself twice a week. I think I was doing test and Deca on an alternate. I would shoot up on Tuesdays and Fridays. It's been a decade. But yeah, I'm sure it was 2 injections twice a week. 10 micrograms. I think I was on 10 and 10. It wasn't a massive dosage, but it was enough to get the party going.
See, the highest I ever got to was 1,600. Was it? 1,600 milligrams of test and 800 milligrams of grams. Sorry, not milligrams of tren.
Milligrams.
That was twice a week in both arse cheeks. So one arse cheek was for my test, the other one was for the tren. I've not went anywhere else yet.
You know, I've always done my thighs because it was just easier to get to.
People keep it. My missus does my injections for me.
Ah, right, okay.
So, but obviously before I was well, she tried to jag myself in the arse. Jesus fucking Christ.
So me and my pal done it at the same time, and we just used to. I mean, we started off jagging each other's arses. It was weird.
That was with it. That was with it. The testosterone.
And then we started steroids. Yeah, but then we just weren't always around each other, so I just it was just easier doing the thighs.
Yeah, I've got very vascular legs. Like I've on both my legs. I've got a cluster of veins that runs right where you would inject. I don't even know where you did. I run about there. I've got a large amount
Up here, no?
I thought it was there. No,
no, I remember it's been 10 years, but it was the outer section of the quad.
I mean, you start just doing my fucking leg now.
Yeah, no, it was. I'm sure because you wanted to go out as much as possible. I think to avoid shit like that. So I'm sure because I remember this is like where I would.
No, is I want to switch to my shoulders. Both my arse cheeks are fucked.
See, I never had any problem with that. I don't. Are you like warming up your oil or anything?
Aye. Well, warming up the oil. I'd always go for a shower beforehand.
Aye.
But I think it's just because I've been doing it in the same spot for so long.
In fairness, I done 2 cycles and stopped. So that was like 2 12-week cycles. 12 week, yeah, something like that.
I'm nearly a year coming up for, so it's probably like about between 3 actual blasts with 2 mini cycles to help me date my actual hormones. And this next one in December, this will be my 4th blast. So
Do you get your blood work done, your liver count and stuff like
so
that?
I never, but I got a fluid gland infection in my right ball. Well, behind my right ball, so I had to get my blood work done, and my testosterone came back at just over 1,000 nanograms. My white blood cell count was through the roof. My heart rate, my blood pressure had skyrocketed. That's why I started running. So it was because the doctor was like that to me. So we can either give you these tablets, or you can run 15k a week. I was like, 15k a week, guys. So can we do it over a couple of days? And they're like, we don't recommend that. I was like, well, that's what I'm going to do. So but I could not see after getting that done. I noticed like the heart rate and the blood pressure. So I kind of started knocking back on the amount I was taking anyway. What?
I'm sitting here listening to all yous, and Saturday I had a packet of digestives for dinner.
Oh man.
Yous are taught about nanograms and all this, these chemicals.
Is that how your nose keeps twitching?
How?
Because you keep talking about grams.
Aye.
But I loved it. I do enjoy it. And like Ryan says, I don't do it for MDLs. I don't do it to impress MDLs. I do it to show like myself that I'm capable of doing so. I was always skinny and violent. That's pretty much, you used to call me six pack of ribs. Six pack and
a rib.
Like I was always skinny and violent, and now getting older, like I'm looking at my mirror. I used to be a heavy drug addict, and I look at myself in the mirror, sober, going
Mostly sober.
Going, this is what I've achieved, and that's why I post all my fitness stuff on TikTok as well. Like I watch all these wee guys that are out stabbing each other, that are out fucking partying like Friday through to Monday. They are wee arseholes, but with like the older generation from them, they give them so much shit that I just want to show people it's easily done. You can go for that style of life if you want to something better, which I have kind of done.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
100% you have. You've came on leaps and bounds for McDonald's.
But it's just trying to show the younger ones, like, it doesn't matter what fucking what life throws at you. You can make it what you want. I know this sounds heavy, as if I'm trying to be inspirational, whatever. I'm just saying the truth. Like, you can do literally, but it doesn't matter the cards you've been dealt. Do some aspects, obviously. You can't, like, you grow up my crack then, you know what I mean? You're not going to get a job in NASA.
How you never know. People can apply themselves.
With crack. But, nah, genuinely, that's like, it's my full shit. So that's why I do it. Not why I take steroids, it's why I continue to keep up with fitness as much as I do hate it. I'm trying to get Ryan in the same boat.
See, I do enjoy going to the gym, right? This is my thing with fitness, is I enjoy my scran. I really do. And I've tried to do the dieting and the chicken and rice and all that, and the intermittent fasting and all that.
Chicken and rice diet's bullshit.
It's fucking shit. I don't like chicken now because I do not eat chicken.
You know,
see, when I say chicken and rice, but I was eating like bird's eye and fried chicken.
It still works though.
It wasn't like fucking just diced chicken breast. And it was like fucking...
I've choked down so much chicken and broccoli in my life, I never want to fucking see it again.
I don't. What is your go-to? What is your go-to meal?
Steak.
My
I like the thing that I cook the most is I go to Lidl and I get the 700-gram pack of diced beef. I cook it in butter, and then I pour in some red wine, reduce it, add gravy granules to thicken it up into a gravy, and then I'll just like boil some potatoes.
Nice.
And then the potatoes just butter, rosemary, salt, pepper.
My mouth's actually watering.
I know.
Like that's it. 700. Because I only eat like once or twice a day. I don't eat a lot.
Yeah.
But I eat a lot when I do. So like 700 grams of diced beef.
Much calories are you reckon back a day then?
I don't count calories.
I'm 4.5 a day.
4.5 calories.
4,500.
4,500.
That's for off cycle. When I'm
a lot, man.
back on cycle, I'm going to drop back 23,000 because I do not need eating as much when I'm on.
No, I don't really count that much. I'm kind of somewhat careful about what I do eat because
that was an experience. Like, see, listening to you, Kyle and Craig during the Fringe talk about eating healthily and all that, like your sardines, your cottage cheese, and you said big bowls of mince and all that. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, mince meat is another big one.
It was quite an experience and an eye opener because like I eat frozen pizzas and like packs of noodles and all that. I'm very basic. I'm like your typical single guy. Like, do you know what I mean? I'm a single guy that stays myself, so it's just fuck a pizza in the oven or something like that. So it was kind of... But I did try sardines and they're fucking minging.
Yeah, but... just fucking... You want protein quickly?
I am. My favourite is either chili. My missus makes a great chili, or
nice.
steak and cheese pasta.
Oh yeah.
You can get the steaks out of Asda. I think it's like you get 2 steaks for a tenner. Or there's ones in Tesco. It's like chili pepper. There's 2 of them for £15. If I worked it out, like you get 14 steaks for 70 quid. Does me the full week. So it does. So I'm like, aye, that'll do.
You need to go to Lidl, man. Fuck Asda.
Aye.
I'm sure it's cheaper on Lidl.
The problem is we're just.
That's why I buy the dice, because it's like 700 gram of diced beef for $6.49. I think that's.
No. See, because
Like fucking.
real cheese stays is literally Asda's fucking
Aye,
pretty
it's
much
only
across
up
the
the
road.
That's the only reason I go to Asda. But
Because
aye.
that's the only buying I've been caught shoplifting it.
No, I don't get caught shoplifting.
Just tell people on the internet I shoplift.
Mm-hmm. I get out it in Aberdeen, I know.
Saying, they say I'm going to run in and check the time on that.
Oh yeah. Are we in a rush?
No, it's just. Aye. It's,
Can I jump to the toilet quickly then, or are we
Aye.
cutting?
Maybe.
Alright, okay.
I jumped to the toilet if you
Can I
need.
jump to the toilet?
I jumped to the toilet, there's no rush.
Is there any bottles of water or anything like that cutting about?
We can cut it out.
There's bottles of Desperado. There was water in that.
Of course.
Take a timestamp so we know how to cut it out.
Oh, that means we can have a fucking smoke. So just fuck, man. I love him.
Mm-hmm.
I love him.
That's what I'm saying. Like me and Sean and like Alan and all that. That's like, who we run about.
I believe he's 30. He does not look 30 whatsoever.
Is this the one that's infused with tequila?
I thought Desperado was fucking shandy and tequila anyway.
It's a agave spirit. That's basically tequila. Check the Dortmund score. Johnny, that's live.
Oh, what's she on?
So what time's Johnny in a minute?
As soon as they finish the gym. So that says it when I phone
Are they in the gym?
they're in the gym now. Oh, I've got this call.
I
Actually.
just need to target money, man.
Aye.
I'm on my ass. You bastards made me hungry. I've not had dinner since Sunday. I've been living off crisps. Got my nanas for dinner tomorrow, but we'll just edit it together.
Cut it. Cut job.
So, aye. Fucking chucking shit about the place. So, what are obviously your plans for, say, comedy in the future? I don't know how it's all structured and stuff like that? Or are you just sort of like going as is?
No, I've got plans. I've got kind of a rough 5 and 10 year one, but it becomes it's the same as anything. The further you look into the future, the more difficult it becomes to predict what actually is going to happen. Yeah,
and you need that wee thing of luck. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, we could, like, me and Sean have spoke about it before, where we've got these plans that we're setting out for the next year, but you need that wee luck to get an audience. Do you know what I mean?
I don't know. I would say that probably, I don't know, if luck is a factor, it's maybe 5%. Maybe the rest of it is just
course.
hard work, preparation.
But you just need that wee. It's not even luck. Like,
you need to create the environment for success. So like one of the things that happened to me in Austin that I didn't expect is I spent 3 days hanging out with these guys at Creek, and on day 3, I discovered that they both work with Netflix. Yeah, I was just guys I was hanging out with.
You can't say that that's not some thing with luck though.
Well, there is an element of luck to it, but so like one of the guys initially, so when I first met him, I thought I recognised him. I was like, I just couldn't place his face. And then on day 3, I was like having a conversation with him. The reason I recognised him is because he's in Stranger Things and every Marvel Netflix show. So he was in like Luke Cage, Jessica Jones, Daredevil, Punisher, Defenders. He was in all of them. And we were having a conversation one night about comedy and success and stuff like that. And he put like, I don't want to misquote him. We were having the conversation about kind of what I wanted to do, so in a similar theme like this. And he was like, you realize what this is, young man? And I was like, what is this? He was like, this conversation is driftwood. And I'm like, driftwood? And he's like, back in ancient times, when Vikings or whomever was looking for land, if they found driftwood, they knew that they were close. This conversation is driftwood. This is a signal for where you need to go. And he just left me with that, and I was like, yeah.
Was it high?
Everyone there was high. Yeah, I done a gig in a smokehouse. It was like being like I done a show in essentially what was an outdoor bong.
That must have been great though.
That was fucking bananas.
Easy to get laugh, surely.
The opposite.
Was it? I suppose they're right.
So it was a Kill Tony big joke book showcase.
Right.
So everyone from Kill Tony that won a big joke book, it was like one of their showcases, and I was on it, just because I'm me.
I'm the guy.
Because I'm the fucking guy. Because I was blowing the right guy, making my own luck. So yeah, I showed up, and so it was like the smokehouse where you would go and like buy weed or dispensary, whatever the fuck you call it. And there's like kind of an outdoor enclosed patio area, and that's like the venue. So there's a stage at the far side of the room. The room is not that this is a good metric. How big was it? I don't know, 30 feet, something like that. Wasn't massive, but big enough. Slightly longer than Tenants.
Aye,
but more narrow. So stage at the far end with the big Abe's Smokehouse thing in the back, and then the room is flanked. So the perimeter of the room is just big couches with like the occasional kind of couch in the middle. So you're going up, and all you're performing for really is high comedians that have just melted into couches. So they had a show called, I think it was called Dab and Joke, in which they would do a dab. They would take like a fucking,
I think Sean told me about
an
it.
ungodly amount of weed, and then get on stage and try and perform.
That sounds amazing.
So I'm like, I don't really drink or smoke or anything like that.
Is there any one of these with cocaine?
Oh, for sure. Probably.
And Bolivia, probably.
For sure. But yeah, so I went up and like I was like doing material, and like I'd done like 3 jokes, and I was just looking around the room, and like no one could give a fuck. They were all just like, this was my entire audience. Just. And then I would say something that like a killer joke that like fucking normally works every time. And I went up and done that. I was like, I'm doing fucking a half hour. I'm like, I think I did 10 minutes. And then got off stage, but and then hung out with the guys because they were all sweethearts. And like the first guy went, the guy that hosts it went up on stage, and he was like, guys, I might still be coming down from the 6 tabs of LSD I took last night. And he just started rambling, and I was like, this is the best gig I've ever been to in my life. Yeah, they do some fucking banana shows.
I could imagine, see where weed is legal, there must be like a few of the sort of themed nights.
There's one called the Green Room. I didn't do the Green Room when I was out there. It was another comic that told me about it. So they do, I can't remember what the name of the show was. Essentially what you do is, so you go out and you do your 5 minutes. You do your 5 minutes material. Then you go to the Green Room, like the Green Room within the Green Room. And then you just take a heroic amount of weed. You just blaze, and then you come back out half hour later and then do your set again. That's the format of the night.
That sounds horrible to me.
That sounds great fun.
So you go up sober, you go away, you get fucking out your tits, and then you wander back on, and then you do your set again.
See, it's not just that. Like, me when weed does the mix, like, I will fall apart.
You fall
quite
apart
quickly.
whenever?
No, but weed is a different sort of thing. I was actually out at my cousin's on Sunday it must have been. And I was out at my cousin's, and he gave me a shot of a weed vape pen. No knowing it was a weed vape pen, and I only took a few draws, and I'm like, that tastes funny. And he's like, it's a weed pen. And I'm like, get that to fuck. Cut to 10 minutes later, I'm like, for hours, I had to walk back at 3 a.m. to my bit. But see that, what you're talking about, that Green Room, doing my set, and then doing it again, I would feel as if I would fall flat.
I don't even think they care.
No, but that's true.
It doesn't appeal to me because I think, like, I've never performed drunk or high or anything because I feel like I need to be sharp to deliver my material.
I have.
But I think
Sean had to sit me down at one point like that. Every time I see you, you're drunk. Stop it.
Yeah. Did you not get smashed for I was at the Aberdeen Fringe? Was that the one that you were drunk?
Aye, but that was because
I was the open mic actually. Sorry, it wasn't the actual.
It was the open mic. I was told I were just got to fuck about no that, and then I started drinking quite early, thinking it's all comedians just fanning about, and then somebody says to me, "Aye, it's an advertisement for your show," and I was blitzed, and I was planning new material, and I'm too drunk to correct myself. Fuck it.
Yeah, I remember that. I think I closed that one that night.
That's how all my TikToks used to go though.
No.
Back in the day, I used to spend a shift at McDonald's getting fucked at my face on coke all night.
Coke in a McDonald's?
Oh, yes. I used to
There's
flood
more
that
coke
place.
in McDonald's than there is in a Green Room.
Oh.
Put it that way.
I'd walk home for work, still fried out my wee dish. Like, all these thoughts would be coming to me, like, I'm going to go home and make this for a video. I'd get in the house, I'd make the video, I'd somehow manage to go to sleep, then I'd wake up at like 9 o'clock at night for my night shift. Like, fucking turn on 50,000 views, 20,000 likes, that right? Cool, bag of gear, the rinse and repeat, and I just done that for about a year and a half straight. Nice. And it worked. So, when do you want me to go on stage?
So what you're saying is cocaine is a good thing and people should consume it?
No.
In moderation.
Moderation. Just a wee line here and there. I see your nan's funeral.
Just half a
This
coffee.
is for you, nan.
See that video and it's like, Nan, you enjoying your party? And she's like, yeah, it's good, aye. What line? A line of it.
Me in the bathroom. I done a parody in that video years ago.
I do not know that video.
Oh, it's hilarious.
Now the time, right, okay.
Yeah, we'll show you.
You just do your dinner, find it.
Aye, so another thing I wanted to ask you about Austin was Kill Tony. I know you tried. You've been in the bucket twice.
Twice, yeah.
Aye. So how does that work? Is it like a long show? Because I know it's recorded and everything, but...
I think it's like a 2-hour long show, something like that.
Oh, I thought it would have been longer. Like, cause the way I imagine it getting produced is getting big, long bits cut out while they're like rotating acts or whatever, no?
No.
Just like a normal open mic, kind of.
Kind of yeah. So the way it works is that you go to, so there's the Comedy Mothership. So on 6th Street there's the Comedy Mothership, and next to it there's a bar called Poor Choices, Poor Choices, P-O-U-R Choices, and that's where the sign up is for Kill Tony.
Right.
So there's two queues. There's the queue if you've never signed up before, and the queue if you have signed up before. So you and you go into one initially to like fill in all your information and sign like a disclaimer, that says they can use your image in
Aye.
perpetuity and stuff like that. And then the next queue, which was the one I was in the second time, is just you essentially registering, saying, I'm here. And then they give you a wristband with a number on it.
Right.
And then you just wait.
Aye.
I
just
just made so much shite.
Yeah. You just stand in the bar and wait. And what'll happen is one of the runners or one of the producers from the show, when your name gets called out, they will literally sprint from the comedy mothership to Poor Choices and then will shout your name at the door. If you're not there, it's your ass.
Aye.
So I never seen anyone get missed, but so that they would literally sprint over, grab you, and then you need to run to the back door for the comedy mothership, and then they take you on stage.
So it's kind of like free for all at Monkey Barrel. Like
I've never
when
done free-for-all.
I've never done it, but I know how it works, and it's kind of the same thing where you're at the bar, and it's literally you put your name in the bucket, and you need to be in the room when your name gets called, and if you're not, somebody else's name will get called.
Yeah, pretty
Aye.
much. Yeah, and then like when the show's finished, they'll like come out and tell everybody,
Give us a bogey.
give it away.
So how much people is there signing up?
First night I did it was about 300.
Aye.
Second night, I think it was probably comparable, probably somewhere around the 300.
Hey, I can't find it.
But
A lot of cunts. A lot of fucking. There was a guy.
is it all experienced people, or is there folk that just want to get on the show? Or
Oh man! So first day I get there and I'm standing at I've signed up. I'm standing at the bar, Poor Choices. I've got like my label on. I'm just waiting, just running over my minute in my head. And then the guy next to me, like we're just kind of having like general chit chat and conversation and stuff like that. He was like, "This is my first time." I was like, "Your first time on Kill Tony? Me too." And he's like, "No, it's my first time trying comedy." I was like, "What?"
that's like the people that sign up to Dave Vid Raw for the first time. I don't understand it.
It's fucking. I'm like this.
This is like the biggest comedy show on the planet,
It is yeah, like.
and you want to go up for the first time.
He's like, "Oh well, if I do well, then I'll keep me going, and if I don't do well, that's what it is." And I'm just like, "Fuck
No,
you."
go out and build your stripes.
It's the first time ever stepping on. I mean, don't get me wrong. Like sometimes there's people that you see step on stage in Kill Tony for the first time and crush, like do really well.
Aye.
Sometimes you do see that,
But that's people with a natural, like,
some people are just naturally funny.
aye,
But yeah,
that's easy. I don't understand. I don't know. I don't know if
But-
it's just because we are comedians
At the
and
same-
we
yeah.
understand the business more. But
at the same time, it's also his right.
aye,
You're like,
100%.
He's well within. If someone wants to do that, then that's
Aye.
why Kill Tony exists. So it's his right, but at the same time, you're like bastard.
That sounds like to me.
Threw my odds off. by
Nobody
one.
doing fitness before and signing up for Mr. Olympia.
Kind of a,
That's what that sounds like to me.
Aye,
kind of a. But I mean,
I've never done bodybuilding or the fuck you doing here.
It's similar, but I mean, there's like a dice roll chance. I mean, suppose you could be naturally built like Mr. Olympia and have a chance of placing. I don't know.
it's like somebody that lifts couches for a living deciding to go and try the Olympic deadlifting.
They might get the bar off the ground a little
Aye, they might get a bar off the ground. They might do a decent wee bit.
Aye.
They're not going to win.
Oh, man.
But aye.
But
Yeah.
yeah, it's well within his right to do it. But yeah,
Aye,
no,
of course
I've
it
seen
is.
some-
And do you know what? See if they go on it in the day, well, good on them. But
yeah, there was a guy there dressed as a wizard. I've seen that guy. I never got a chance to speak to him.
did you
Fuck,
see any
when
of
I
the
was-
regulars?
Yeah,
Aye,
I've done some
Casey
shows
Rocket
with
and
a bunch of them. I've done a couple of gigs. I've done one gig with Hans Kim
Hans Kim, aye.
in the Velveeta Room. I met Drew Nickens. He was a sweetheart.
That Casey Rocket, he's my new favourite.
I never met Casey. I met Cam Haynes Cam Haynes.
Cam
Patterson, sorry, yeah.
Patterson.
He done some shows at Creek and was hanging out at Sunset as well. Again, sweetheart of a guy, really nice guy.
Pocket full of rocks.
Pocket full of rocks. Racks. Yeah, no, he was a really nice
I'll show
guy.
you later.
I just immediately thought of coke.
I'd not.
You wouldn't think I've been sober for 2 years, wouldn't you? Know? It's on my mind.
Cam Patterson,
all the
he's a,
time.
he's a black guy, right? And he goes, and I'll need to show you the bit, but he basically picks up like good feeling rocks and puts them in his pocket and he rubs them and all that. And I'll need to show you. He's no autistic or anything, he just likes doing
He
it.
just likes rock.
That rock.
Well,
Yeah. He was a sweetheart, but really nice.
Aye.
Everyone that I met was really nice. There wasn't anyone that I bumped into that I was like, this guy's a cunt.
Did you have much conversation with, I know you met him, but did you have much conversation with Hinchcliffe?
It was brief.
Beef, aye.
It was brief. It was
Kind of
literally
thought-
so I was in watching The Secret Show.
Mm-hmm.
And as I stepped outside, Tony Hinchcliffe walked past me and I was like, what's happening? I was like, "How you doing?" and I was standing outside. I think I was smoking or something like that. As he came back out, and we just kind of had a brief interaction. I was like, "How you doing?" I'm a comedian. I'm over from Scotland. Just over here performing. And he was like, "Oh yeah, that's cool. There's a bar you'll love." And I was like, "What?" And he was like, he turned around and pointed, and he said, "There's a bar over there called the Dead Rabbit." And it's the only bar in here you're going to find a good pint of Guinness and food. And I was like...
Guinness is Irish.
It was an Irish bar.
I know, but
I love Guinness.
I'd have turned around and went, what about tenants?
I prefer Guinness.
My tenants, man. I love tenants. I just do.
This is your issue.
Whatever you say, mate.
No, this is a thing. Let's see, try to explain to people that I drink pints of tenants, no for the alcohol, but for the taste. People just think I'm an alcoholic.
Yeah.
No, because I would drink tenants if it wasn't alcoholic.
Would you?
Aye.
If they came out with non-alcoholic.
See if they came out with a non-alcoholic one that tasted the same, I would have it for my breakfast.
Smell bullshit.
No. I love tenants.
So anyway, the Guinness.
I'm not an alcoholic.
That's us not getting monetised. Nothing to do with the fact I've been talking about cocaine and steroids for an hour and unreal. But
Yeah, so I went to the bar and Tony was right.
Aye.
That was great.
Was it good?
Yeah. Yeah, no, the food was amazing. The Guinness was good. It was amazing, rather. The full. I walked in and ordered a pint of Guinness, and then I heard an accent that I recognised, and I turned round. I think I'd just been speaking to the bartender about being from Glasgow, and then this woman grabbed me by the shoulder, and she's like, "I'm from Maryhill." And I was like, "What?" She's like, "Aye, from Maryhill. Where in Glasgow you fae?" And I was like, "Fuck me. You literally cannot go anywhere in the world without bumping into someone from Glasgow."
Oh, see if I went to Austin, I'd bump into somebody from Wishy. Everywhere I go.
Aye.
Everywhere I go. I've been fucking everywhere. And I
It's-
always bump into somebody from Wishy.
See the thing is, right? So, see when I get I meet people and they're like, I'll say to them, I used to drink Wishy. What? Oh, I'm McCready. I'm like, aye, I'm J. Rowley. Like, you get shagged from McDonald's, didn't you? I'm like, aye, that's me. It's fucking. It's the same in. I don't know. I keep
See the
talking
how you do meet people everywhere. It's scary how small the world actually is.
No.
That's just what I wanted to say there. Didn't mean to kill the fucking conversation.
I thought you had something inspirational to go on with that.
The world's just small, mate.
Gotta get me cut my fucking wrist now, you freak me out.
So what was the woman from Maryhill then? Just there for a
She
holiday?
was just there.
Cutting a bit.
She just lived there.
She was up doing a gig.
She'd moved there from Glasgow.
She was lucky to escape Maryhill.
Aye, I know. She was living in Austin. She was hanging out there. I bumped into a bunch of guys from Inverurie, where I grew up between Glasgow and Inverurie.
Oh, I'm sure you did. I forgot about that.
It was weird.
But there was cunts for Inverurie.
Aye, we used to
Have you ever done an Inverurie gig?
Huh?
Have you done it?
Okay, I've done when I was on tour with Craig. We did Inverurie.
Alright, I thought she did Inverurie gig that me and Sean not done.
Yeah, I've not done that.
No, done it. You should speak to her, but that was quite a good gig.
Yeah, no, we literally. So I used to play in the River Don in Inverurie when I was a wee guy, and they played in the same river. And we were kind of roughly the same age.
Aye.
So we played in the growing up in the same river when we were wee guys. It was just a weird interaction to go to Austin and then bump into the bug from Maryhill and then bump into guys that were playing in the same place as me when I was a wee guy.
That's
it was just
mental.
a weird. Yeah.
So would you go back to America?
Yeah, I'll be going back next year.
Are you going back next year?
Yeah.
Are you back and maybe try somewhere else, like New York?
New York and LA. So I was invited out by a couple of guys, but I don't.
It's money in it.
Money's an issue, but the other thing is I don't want to go there half cooked. You know,
Mm-hmm.
I would rather be 5 years in or 10 years in and overcooked.
Aye, what?
I don't want to go. I would rather go a year late than a day early.
Aye.
I don't wanna-
You
I
would
don't
rather
wanna-
go over like if you were headlining over here, you would rather go over there and go back to doing open spots. Do you know what I mean?
wouldn't be
Rather
going-
than being an open spot here and then doing.
I'm not going anywhere to do open spots.
Aye, you know what I mean, but
Yeah.
it's just you would rather take that step down rather than having to take a step up. Is that what you're trying to say?
I don't know. What do you mean?
Rather go over there with more experience.
Aye.
Yeah,
You would
ultimately it
rather-
How
boils
did you
down-
not
So-
get that?
Aye, but see if you were a headliner here,
Mhm.
you would go there and maybe be the opener. Do you know what I mean?
Oh, what you wanting? What you wanting? For all the viewers, the
Aye.
young, the old have just swaggered in. What's in the box?
Giant Sea.
Banging. Banging. Aye. Yes. Right, so.
Aye, so.
Yeah, I would rather go over
Aye.
more experience.
Aye. Of course I would.
I'd love to. I love entertainment. People keep asking me, like, where do you want? Because I've always just kind of fucked about on TikTok. This has been the first opportunity where I've got to kind of entertain people on a more larger scale, so to speak, than just 15 seconds on your phone. And you'll might say, but I'd love to do some type of entertainment over. I'd love to just go there, just to kind of see what it's like. But kind of, I don't know, no day. I do something like this over there. I'd never get to move over there because of my weight and stuff like that.
Aye.
But I'd love to break America violently.
I'm slowly trying to break in America.
Aye. But see the way you done just 3 weeks in Austin, the way I've always thought about it, I would try maybe a week in New York, a week in Austin, a week in LA sort of thing. Do you know what I mean? And get the full experience.
If I went back, I would do 10 days. So I'm organising 10 days in Austin for the next time. Because I'm staying with a comedian out there next time I go out.
Shaggles.
I'm going to kiss him.
Because see like the Shane Todd special, have you seen his?
Shane who?
Shane Todd's American special. Shane Todd for Belfast. He recorded the same hour in New York, Chicago, Austin and LA. Right. And he cut it up so there's like 5 minutes for LA, 5 minutes for Chicago and all that. And it's quite a good thing, but it shows the difference of audiences and rooms and stuff like that.
Right, cool. So that's, I hate to be all the heavy break there, but we're going on to an hour and 15.
Are we?
I know. It's been an absolute fucking pleasure having you on.
Aye. Thanks for coming in, Robin.
Aye.
I'm sure you'll be on again.
You better be, and I'm going to come and find you. I don't care what country you're in. I'll be there. So
Prepared?
the beard. But it's been great having you in, especially with somebody who has travelled as well. It's great to obviously hear your experiences from over in America and what it's like, and that mad guy with a knife.
Yeah, he was one. There was another guy with a unicycle.
We need to try and get him on.
He was interesting.
Aye, so if the audience is looking to find you, where can they find you? What is your plugs?
Well, I've got a 10-minute special on YouTube. If you just search Robin Zetina, it'll come up.
Cool.
I'm mainly active on Instagram at Robin Zetina Comedy.
Definitely not goblins as well.
Yeah, I also run Glasgow's monthly live D&D show. We just did a show last night. Yeah, live.
Could I tell me that a fucking hour ago, by the way? Could I tell me that an hour ago?
I know, I completely forgot about it.
Aye.
But I plug it away.
Yeah, it's the same. Definitely Not Goblins on YouTube. There's Definitely Not Goblins on _ at the end on Instagram. It's Glasgow's monthly live D&D podcast.
So I've never played D&D, but it's something I like into. I love my comic books and all that shit. I collect Star Wars figures. I collect fucking DC figures.
Come to the show on Sunday. I've got one this Sunday.
I work every weekend. That's my only issue. We'll figure something out.
He thought I was doing a bit at the Fringe because they were talking about D&D and I'm like, I'd love that. And he's like, right. And he spoke about Critical Role and I used to watch that years ago.
I couldn't believe it.
And I'm like, I Critical Role. I absolutely loved it. And he's like, you wind me up here. And I'm like, no, Matthew Mercer and all that. And he's like, nah, you're at it, man.
Yeah, it took a good couple of minutes for him to be like, yeah, like Vex and Vax and Keyleth and the dragons. And I was like, there's no way.
I love it. Aye.
Aye. Thanks for tuning in. It's been a pleasure to be back on the couch. So obviously the TikTok is no more, but you can find us. Let's have it on TikTok, Instagram, or the usuals. Or
let's have it bit in the side
let's
as well.
have it bit in the side. You bet me by a fucking ball.
Oh, yeah, I've got TikTok as well. So Robin Zetina.
Robin Zetina.
There we are. Anyway, keep it real. If you are going to do drugs, don't abuse them. I don't fucking care.
Right.